Money decisions aren't just about numbers, they are heavily influenced by our emotions and biases. Even though we think we are making rational choices, our past experiences and emotions often lead us astray. Things like buying a house, taking a loan, or investing can be clouded by our biases without us even realizing it. Recognizing these biases is key to making better financial decisions. So, understanding how our emotions and biases impact our choices can help us avoid making mistakes with our money. So in this video, there are 13 biases that I'm gonna share with you, and after watching this video till the end, you must change your false beliefs that's gonna help yourselves. So number one bias is anchoring bias. So number one bias is anchoring bias. Anchoring bias when you rely too much on the first piece of information you hear. For example, if the first phone you like is 70,000, really expensive. Even the next one, 25,000, seems like a good deal, even if it's still pricey. Similarly, if someone tells you a high price for something, you might end up thinking that's the normal price and be willing to pay around that amount, even if it's too much for you. It's like having a GPS set to the wrong place, you keep following it even when you are supposed to go another way. Number 2. Availability bias. Availability bias when we rely too much on information that's easy to remember or find. For example, if we hear about someone getting rich from a certain investment, we might want to do the same thing without thinking it through. Or if there is a lot of talk about a stock market crash, we might panic and sell our investments, even if it's not the best move for the long term. We tend to trust what we hear or see often, like on social media or in the news, even if it's not always reliable. To fight availability bias, it's important to use logic and facts instead of just going with what's popular or easy to find. It's like your brain's Netflix recommending old shows because they are easy to remember, even if there are better options out there. Number 3. Loss aversion bias. Loss aversion bias when we are more afraid of losing money than we are excited about making more money. Our brains feel the pain of losing money much more strongly than the joy of gaining the same amount of money. This can make us to make strange decisions with our money, like holding on to investments that aren't doing well because we are afraid of realizing the loss, or selling investments in a panic when their value drops. To overcome these biases, it's important to focus on long-term goals and not let fear control our decisions. It's like sitting through a bad movie just because we don't want to admit we made a mistake, even though we could be doing something better with our time. Number 4. Herding bias. Herding bias is when we follow what everyone else is doing, even if it's not the best decision. We like to fit in and be part of the crowd, even if others don't really know what they are doing either. Sometimes it works out fine, like trying a popular restaurant with lots of good reviews. But other times it can lead to trouble, like everyone buying property in a city just because it's trendy, causing prices to go up too much. Or when people start panicking and withdrawing money from a bank because of rumors, even if the bank is actually fine. When it comes to big financial decisions, it's important to think for yourself and not just follow what everyone else is doing. It's like blindly following a GPS and ending up in traffic because everyone else is going the same way, even if it's not the best route for you. Number 5. The ostrich effect. The ostrich effect is when we ignore or avoid dealing with negative financial information because it makes us anxious. For example, if we have been spending too much money and accumulating debt, we might avoid checking our bank balance or how much we owe because we don't want to confront the reality of our situation. We hope that if we ignore the problem, it will go away on its own. But ignoring financial problems doesn't make them disappear. It's like burying our heads in the sand and pretending everything is fine, even though we know it's not. Number 6. Decision fatigue. Decision fatigue happens when we make worse decisions because we are tired from making too many decisions throughout the day. As we make more decisions, our brain looks for shortcuts and we start making impulsive choices. To avoid this with money, automate your bills, investments, and savings as much as possible. Keep your finances simple by minimizing the number of bank accounts and cards you have, and try to avoid making big money decisions when you are tired, hungry, or lonely. It's like ending up with a plate full of food at a buffet because choosing between all the options felt too overwhelming. Number 7. Sunk cost fallacy. The sunk cost fallacy is when we keep investing time, effort, or money into something even if it's not working out, just because we have already invested so much. For example, sticking with a failing business idea because you have already put years into it, or holding on to a bad investment because you don't want to lose what you have already put in. Instead of continuing with something that's not working, it's better to cut your losses and move on. Treat each decision separately and don't let past investments influence your future choices. It's like using yesterday's losses as an excuse to make more bad decisions today. Number 8. The Gambler's Fallacy. The Gambler's Fallacy is when we believe that past events will influence future events, even if they are not related. For example, if you flip a coin and get heads 9 times in a row, you might think that the next flip is more likely to be tails to balance it out. But in reality, each coin flip is independent and has the same chance of landing on heads or tails every time. Our brains tend to notice coincidences and ignore all the times when things don't happen in a pattern. So we might make investment decisions based on past performance, like buying a stock because it's at a low price or selling because it's been doing well for a while. But each event is separate and doesn't depend on what happened before. It's like expecting a pizza with a different topping from Domino's just because you have had the same one 3 times in a row. Sometimes you just get what you ordered. Number 9. Framing effect. The framing effect is when the way information is presented and influences our choices, even if the content is the same. For example, if you are given 2 options for an investment, one described as having a 70% chance of gains and the other as having a 30% chance of losing money, most people would prefer the first option even though they are actually the same thing. Sellers use this to their advantage by presenting information in a way that makes it more appealing. It's important to focus on the facts rather than just how things are presented. It's like putting a fancy frame around a potato and calling it art. Don't let the presentation distract you from what's really important. Number 10. Mental accounting. Mental accounting is when our brains label money differently, depending on how we got it or how we plan to use it. For example, finding money on the street might feel like lucky treat yourself money, while money saved for a specific purpose, like buying a bike, feels different. We also tend to spend money differently based on how it makes us feel, like splurging on small daily expenses but hesitating to spend on bigger one-time purchases. Our perception of value can also change depending on the situation, like being willing to pay more for something at a special event even if it's the same thing you could get cheaper elsewhere. Companies use this to their advantage, like offering luxury buys or special deals on certain days. Budgeting helps us set boundaries and manage our money wisely within those boundaries. It's like treating your money like a box of chocolates, with each rupee having its own flavor and purpose. Number 11. The Dunning-Kruger effect. The Dunning-Kruger effect is when people who know very little about a topic tend to think they know a lot, while those who know more realizes that there's a lot they don't know. It's like someone watching a few videos about personal finance and thinking they are an expert, when in reality they still have a lot to learn. People who are less informed often feel more confident in their knowledge, while those who are more knowledgeable tend to be more humble and aware of their limitations. It's a reminder to keep learning and not assume we know everything about a subject, as you know that little knowledge can be misleading. Number 12. The social comparison bias. Social comparison bias is when we judge our own worth and financial decisions based on how we compare to others. For example, seeing a friend investing in cryptocurrency or buying a new car might make us feel like our own choices aren't as good. We are always looking at what others have and feeling like we are missing out or not doing as well. Financial advisors use this to sell products, but it is important to remember that it is your money and your choices. You are amazing just the way you are, so focus on what's best for you, not what others are doing. It's like trying to squeeze into tight jeans just because your neighbor wears them. It might not be the right fit for you. Number 13, and the last bias is, I am not biased. The I am not biased bias is when we believe that we are not affected by biases, even though everyone is prone to them. Biases are like default settings in our brains that influence our decisions without us realizing it. We might think we are immune to biases, but no one is completely self-aware. It's important to recognize our biases so we can make better decisions, especially when it comes to managing our money. Acknowledging that we are prone to biases is the first step to protecting our money from our own biases. It's like saying you are the best chef in the world while burning a simple dish like Maggi noodles. Sometimes we are blind to our own limitations. So guys, now we have learned that how to manage our money and how to protect our money, as well as understanding our own biases in this video. So thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and if you're feeling a bit confused, feel free to ask me anything in the comment section below. And if you're interested in learning how to meditate like a monk, check out this video which is only for you. So stay curious and keep learning.